Yo, what's going on? It's Chibo here from Clash Tournaments. Here with like a little video blog of sorts to talk about the Genesis 3 Compendium. Usually it's not too often I make a video blog sort of thing like this, but I figure I had some extra time this morning and kind of upset about the situation, so I figure why not get to talk about it to the whole community via video. So the Compendium, if you're not familiar with it, is a thing that Smash.gg runs for some tournaments where players get to donate and buy certain things such as like t-shirts, hoodies, posters, controller stickers, and stuff to help raise money for a tournament. And then that money can basically just makes the tournament even better for the players. The first event that did it, I believe, was Big House 5. When that was done, it was like an amazing success. Over like 30,000 was raised for a whole bunch of extra good stuff for the tournament, flying out like 6 more players, different like benefits for the venue and prize pot bonuses. It was a huge success. And since then, it's been done for Tipped Off 11 and also the Smash Summit. Smash Summit was done a little bit differently because it wasn't a normal tournament, but it still used like the Compendium type system. Genesis 3 will be the 4th event on Smash.gg to use the Compendium. Now the rewards went up overnight, and so we got to see what basically will happen with Genesis if this money is raised. And I gotta say, I'm really disappointed in what we're trying to raise money for, and it kind of like makes me wonder what our entire aim with this Compendium is and why these are being chosen as they are, and it just seems like a mess, really, in all honesty. There's a lot of really poor choices for what these rewards are going for, and it just kind of, why are we dumping so much money into things that should already be done, and players and commentators that should already be going, and really just poor value in a lot of these goals. So I'm going to go over each of the levels here and kind of just talk a little bit about each one to see why was this chosen, is it a good goal? A lot of them, there's a lot of problems here. So basically, every single Compendium goal is in increments of $4,000 going through each of them. So all the way from 0 all the way up to $60,000 with 15 different levels. Now you can probably assume that now I've never held a Compendium before in Smash.gg, but I'd imagine maybe like 20% of the costs have to go to making the products to actually make the posters and the shirts and hoodies to go out to the people that donate. So some of the money's going to go to Smash.gg for that. And then I'm assuming the tournament organizers are making a good amount of money from this as well, because a lot of these things just aren't worth the $4,000 increase here. So level 1, $4,000. Wario goes to Genesis 3, and the Smash Draft, which is the giant melee crew battle tournament that's going to be going on in Genesis, gets a $1,000 pop bonus. Now, for those of you who don't know, Wario is one of the best Smash 64 players that's from Japan. Bringing out international talent to a tournament, great incentive. These are players we don't get to see often. I don't know if Wario's even ever been to America, except maybe in Apex or something. I'd have to look back at the results to see. But there's already been a lot of hype surrounding him with how big Smash 64 is getting in Genesis. But here's the thing. So for $4,000, I'll just assume the 20% later. A $1,000 pop bonus, and then Wario going to Genesis 3. That means we're putting out $3,000. $3,000 for this guy to come out to Japan. You know why I know that that's a lie? Is because we're already doing a donation drive for Wario to get to Genesis. If you go to funding.onlinesssb.com, it's a whole donation site that the Smash 64 community is setting up to help bring international players to Genesis, and Wario's on the list. So if you go to that website and you look down at the donation goals, they're trying to raise a maximum of $3,800 to bring 9 different players. So already less than 4,000, and we're getting 9 international players here. They're currently at level 6 right now. They've completed over $2,600 right now, so they'll be at their next goal soon of $2,800. So Wario wasn't reached yet. He needs $3,300, but that's only less than 1,000 away from what they're at right now. Now here's the thing: Wario is level 8 at $3,300. Level 7 is Y-Bomb from Canada at $2,800. That means it even says on the page Wario only needs $500 to go to Genesis from Japan. So how are we having $3,000 all of a sudden for Genesis here to get him there. Now, what happens if we keep donating on the Funding Online SSB website to get him there? Because we might want to get to level 9 so we can bring out Rift from Brazil. So, is the level 8 for Wario just going to be taken out? Is it going to go to somebody else? So why are we raising $3,000 on a Compendium to bring Wario out when we can bring him out for $500 from the Smash 64 community? Something's not adding up there. We're already wasting thousands of dollars on a Compendium for Wario to go to Genesis. Should he go and should we donate to him? Absolutely. Should we do it through this method? Doesn't make any sense. Level 2, $8,000. So it's an additional $4,000 more off of level 1. We get two things here. We get a Wii U 8-region crew battle with a $1,000 pop bonus. Cool. I'm sad that we have to pay for it when Melee is already implemented. But okay, I'll take it. It's an extra event we get to watch. It'll be a lot of fun to really just kind of soak up the energy there, and we get some money towards that. So that's an extra $1,000 there. So that means we're $3,000 for Zoo to make a Genesis 3 epic montage. Now, if you go ahead and look at Zoo's YouTube channels from youtube.com/HelianLord and youtube.com/ I don't think Smash Practice has a YouTube URL yet. But if you look, he's already made montages for Apex, for Paragon, for CEO, for Smash Summit. I don't think he was paid any extra money from all these events to make montages for them. So now why are we giving him $3,000 to make a montage for Genesis? Is it because it's an epic montage? What does epic even mean in this sense? Are we buying him new camera equipment? Because I could build 2 stream stations for $3,000. Come on. Like, Zoo's a great person. He deserves money for his work. But, like, $3,000 to make one montage. Level 3, $12,000. Again, that's $4,000 after level 2. We get 2 flights. Javi and Twin, they're both brothers from Mexico, coming to Genesis 3. You also get a dedicated Friendlies venue room, which has 30 plus setups in it. Honestly, this is one of the best Compendium goals in the entire Compendium because for $4,000, we're getting 2 international flights and an entire extra venue with 30 setups in it. The fact that we now don't have to rely on the community to bring an extra 30 setups for Friendlies now, there's no telling if those 30 setups will be like, say, 50% Wii U, 50% Melee, some Brawl, some 64, some Project M even. But the fact that we're like, well, you could probably do it for under $4,000. Like, it's not bad. Considering you're getting an extra venue and 2 international flights, probably one of the best parts of the Compendium so far. But we go from one of the best to one of the worst parts about the Compendium. And believe me, call me out for saying this, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Level 4, $16,000. Again, $4,000 after level 3 to bring out TK Breezy and EE to Genesis 3. Part of running a tournament is getting a staff that can run your tournament, anything that needs to go along with it, such as extra TOs, your streamer, your commentators. When you think commentators, and this is a big event for both Melee and Wii U, you're going to go right to TK and EE for Smash Wii U commentators because they are some of the best commentators out there. Props to you guys. I love your work. But the fact that we now have to pay $4,000 to bring you guys out here when you guys should have been included from the very start with all the money Genesis is making from venue fees. Why? Like, why are we funding the commentators come out here now when it should be part of, like, on the tournament to bring these guys out? Should the tournament be making more money to help bring them out? Yes, but should they be a Compendium goal? Hell no. And if these guys are really strapped for cash to come out there, frankly, I don't buy it. I don't believe it at all. Go to their streams. They have tons of subscribers. They get tons of donations. They could hop on a Xanadu Weekly and say, yo, bruh, I am $200 short of making Genesis. They'll get that in probably 5 minutes. That they have that kind of pull. The fact that we need to ask for $4,000 to bring out these 2 commentators, which are within the country, to bring them there? Hell no. That's unheard of. The fact that we have to pay to give Genesis and their streams top commentary, especially when we're probably going to be at the venue anyway. That is so terrible. I can't, like, that's honestly the worst part of this entire Compendium here. Level 5, $20,000. Soul goes to Genesis 3. And you get a $2,000 pop bonus for the Wii U 8 Region Crew Battle. So it's an extra $1,000 going to that, which means we're paying $3,000 for Soul to go to Genesis 3. Soul is a player from Florida. It's not going to cost $3,000 to go to Genesis. Now, in terms of picking players that go to Genesis, if you're not going to pick International, coming from more in the Wii U community myself, I'd say Soul is actually one of the better picks you could do. He's an incredibly hype player. We always see him in Giphy Cats on Reddit. But, being a little Mac main, he doesn't make that much money. In fact, I'd say it's probably really rare for him to place top 3 in Florida if it's not doubles with Rio. But, like, he just recently had to leave his sponsor. I'm sure he doesn't have that much money to go to these events. And he's not something that can really rely on tournament winnings to get into more tournaments. But the fact that he's, like, a really great community member, really pushing a lot of good information and working with TOs to help get pro controllers legal at events, I'm glad to see him be brought out there, because he's not somebody that can rely on money from Smash to go to more events. But he's really hype. He loves the community. He puts a lot of work into it. So, great person to pick. But it doesn't cost $3,000 to bring somebody out from Florida. I'm coming to the event from New Jersey. The whole trip for me will probably be like, I got my flight for like $375. Hotel will probably be like, even if I pay for the hotel myself completely, $300 to $400, and I can split it with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Like, it doesn't cost $3,000 to go to the tournament, unless you're like maybe from like a different country and like, level 6, $24,000, another $4,000 increase from level 5. You get a non-esports commentary second stream, days 1 and 2, and the winner of City of Melee flown to Genesis. To be honest, I don't know what tournament City of Melee is, but that's cool that they're going to fly out somebody that like kind of like earns their spot to be there. I like that. But the fact that it says winner of City of Melee, I would kind of hope that like with $4,000 they could fly out maybe like one person for each tournament. Why don't they find like a good regional somewhere, City of Melee Wii U 64, and they fly out 3 people there, which you could easily do on this amount of money. And a non-esports commentary second stream for days 1 and 2. People are really loving the non-esports streams nowadays. It's funny because the more esports we get, the more you want non-esports as well. But like, for a stream to be there, that's cool that we get another stream. So there could be a lot of prices, a lot of money involved there. That's like, make sure you have another internet connection. Unless they use 4G, because that would just be free if they already have it. Let's just say, for instance, if you wanted me to come out and provide another stream, I could easily do that for like $1,000 to $2,000. Honestly, I could do it for way less. But like, it'd be nice to pay a streamer up to like, say, $1,500 to come out and do that. So that's like a pretty good amount, $1,500, leaving $2,500, which could have easily flown out one player for each game, a winner for a tournament. But we're just flying out one. So like, this is a good level, but again, it's just doesn't really like equate to the same value we need. Level 7, $28,000, $4,000 up from level 6. We get 2 things. The Smash Draft gets a $3,000 pop bonus, which is $2,000 more than when it had the increase of $1,000 in level 2. And then None, the Falcon main from Canada, goes to Genesis 3. So $2,000 there is going towards the Smash Draft pop bonus. Cool. Put some more money in there and make the fight for higher stakes. None is a very awesome player. He's so fun to watch. I had a blast streaming him up at Summit when I streamed up there in August. $2,000 for a flight from Canada, so he is international, so flights will definitely be a lot more money, having to cross borders, going through customs. Baggage might be more expensive. I know he's one of the better players in Canada, but I doubt he places top 3 too often with players like Kirby Kaze and Ryan Ford and whatnot, so good pick to bring out. He is a really popular player, though. There's probably a good chance he would have went to Genesis either way, but good pick for a player, and it's international. And the fact that like it's $2,000 for him and not $3,000, like we've been seeing for a lot of the kind of trends so far, so not too bad. Level 8, $32,000, another $4,000 increase here. We get a Brawl 8-player invitational. The Genesis 3, this is one of the biggest events for Smash 64, Melee, Wii U. There could be Project M, but let's be frank, let's not touch that right now. It's a sensitive subject. I'm sure there might be some kind of Nintendo advertisement in some way, shape, or form, especially with VG Bootcamp streaming it. But other than that, like, we're missing a Smash game here. Guys, it's Brawl. And why do we need to pay $32,000 to bring out Brawl? Why do we need to pay $32,000 for 8 people to play Brawl? It's already been confirmed by Showdown DC on Twitter that there will be Brawl setups at the venue for us to play, especially if we're going to have that friendlies venue. Why can't we have a bracket for it? Why can't we just have like a 128-person capped Brawl tournament? Genesis 1 and 2 both had Brawl, and while Melee was surely like the spotlight show at Genesis, Brawl was still hype there. It was still like one of the best early events, like back before like we had majors popping up every other like month going on. We're already gonna, like, it's not hard to get equipment for Brawl. People have Project M setups everywhere. Melee also runs on the Wii as well. You can easily rent them from a company. Like, if we're gonna have $4,000, you might as well just go rent 16 Wiis and Brawls from gaming generations and then throw a Brawl tournament. Put a cap on it so it doesn't, like, go too crazy for the tournament. But if we're eventually gonna get, like, coming later, a 24-hour venue for Genesis, we have a 3-day tournament here, it's not that hard to get Brawl running. If you have to drop doubles, drop doubles. I would love me some Brawl doubles right now. Like, an invitational would be amazing to watch, but what would be even better is, like, one, if we could at least go from 8 players up to 16 players. If you're going to do an 8-player invitational, we all already know who the 8 players are going to be. We could probably predict that entire bracket. And there's an entire community out there waiting to continue to play Brawl at big events like this. And while they should be running their own regionals, sometimes it's harder than it like sounds. But when we have Genesis 3, when Genesis 1 and 2 already had Brawl, and it's supposed to be one of the biggest events here in the world replacing Apex, it's not replacing it because we're not actually celebrating all the Smash games here. The opportunity is here. And the fact that we need to pay over $30,000 to be able to see our game on a stream even is, like, unheard of. And while, like, we should be doing an invitational thing such as the Summit where we get to vote in X amount of players, how are we going to vote in players with an 8-player invitational? What are you going to do? Invite 6 players and vote in 2 of them? Not to mention voting hasn't even started yet and the tournament's about a month and a half away. Like, I'm glad Brawl is eventually going to be there in some way or fashion, because we're probably going to get through all the Compendium goals here. Maybe. The reception so far has been pretty poor on Twitter. But, like, I really hope that we could put this $4,000 to, like, properly putting Brawl there. Level 9, $36,000, $4,000 increase. We get 2 flights for this one. One international, one within the country. Ice goes to Genesis 3. DJ Jack goes to Genesis 3. For those of you who don't know, Ice is a Melee player from Europe. But here's the thing. Ice has been on literally every Compendium so far. He was on the Big House 5 Compendium, which succeeded, and he was flown at the Big House 5. Smash Summit, he was one of the people that was in the voting process to get in. Now, it wasn't a normal Compendium, so he actually wasn't able to get flown out because he didn't receive enough votes. But the fact that he was had the chance to be on there, voted for, and frankly, basically said, if you guys want him, bring him here, it didn't work, unfortunately. Tipped off 11. Now, this is interesting. I actually looked at Big House, the tipped off Compendium. They had reached level 4 for over Triforce going to tipped off. And they needed $1,500 to get Ice to go to tipped off. They did not finish it. The Compendium level 5 for Ice to go to tipped off never even happened. And yet, when you look at the results for tipped off 11, Ice was there. So what's the point of a Compendium goal if when you don't reach Ice goes to tipped off, how is Ice at tipped off? Especially considering they need $1,500 to bring Ice to tipped off 11. Why do we need so much more money for him to go to Genesis 3? That's $4,000 split between 2 people. So even if you divide it down the middle, $2,000 for each person, that's more money than tipped off 11. How does it cost $500 more to go to Genesis instead of tipped off? I don't get it. And then the other person, DJ Jack, does not need $2,000. He's a player from Florida. Doesn't cost $2,000 to go from one side of the country to the other. It costs a lot more money to come from Europe. So basically it's more like $1,000 and $3,000. So why is it taking twice the amount of money to bring him to Genesis than it does for tipped off? And if we're not even going to reach the amount it is to take to get Ice to tipped off, and he still goes there anyway, what does that say about Genesis? Why are we going to give one player now a fourth opportunity to go on a compendium to go to a tournament for free, instead of giving other players like a chance here? Ice is a great player. People love to watch him. Does he deserve this? Probably. But for the fourth time, when players like Yappy, and other players from Europe aren't getting these same opportunities, give it to one of them for a chance. I've seen that same picture of Ice in the I Love New York t-shirt on every single compendium. I'm tired of it. I want to see more diversity in these picks here. DJ Jack. For those of you who don't know, he's a Wii U player. He did play Brawl before. He was pretty okay at it. He was nowhere to be seen at the beginning of Wii U, and he picked up the game a few months ago again. Instantly became one of the best in Florida with Ryu. He's really exciting to watch. Just double eliminated ESAM at the Frame Perfect series by MVG in Florida. But now here's the thing. When he double eliminated ESAM at MVG FPS, and he got third place, he made over $300, and this was less than a month ago. Why do you need money to go to Genesis all of a sudden? If you're a player that has the capability to win money from Smash, you should be putting it towards more Smash. If you're a big player that want to represent your region and you're making money from Smash, be smart with your money and put it back into Smash. He couldn't have entered MVG FPS and what if he didn't get top 8, which is entirely possible. Because he also got eliminated from pools, but then put back into winners with the way the tournament was ran. He could have easily gotten 9th or 13th and not made any money and be all right, life continues. But the fact that he made an extra $300 from Smash means he could easily put that to another Smash tournament 2 months down the line. Why don't we put the money towards players that really need it? The players that are really exciting to watch, just falling outside of the money, maybe Soul, who's brought out in level 5, or God forbid, give it to international players. Ice is international, so that's awesome, but we've seen him on every single compendium. We still haven't seen any Japanese players here for Melee or Wii U yet brought out. Why isn't that happening? Level 10. Last Stock Legends interviews. Last Stock Legends Genesis 3 documentary. Papa Paint top 8 intro videos. Again, this is $4,000 more to do these things here. For those of you who don't know, Last Stock Legends is a Kickstarter program that is going to be helping redigitize a lot of the old videos from Melee and Smash's past, and kind of help making sure that that history is preserved. Now, if you go ahead and look at the Kickstarter page for that, this is a project mainly spearheaded by Prague, and they had asked for $6,200. In that $6,200, 36% of that was travel fees. They ended up making $7,200, over $1,000 more of their goal, which means not only do they already have budget planned to travel to the big events, but we have an extra $1,000 for them to do whatever they want with. And if Genesis 3 is going to be one of the biggest Smash-only tournaments ever now, it would be insane for them to not go to Genesis 3 already. So there's literally already money there in the Last Stock Legends program here to get them to Genesis 3, and yet now we have to pay $4,000 to get them there. We have to pay $4,000 to get Last Stock Legends Genesis 3 footage and a top 8 intro video by Papa Paint. We've had top 8 intro videos by Papa Paint at many tournaments such as Super Smash Con, Big House. It's why he's on VG Bootcamp. He's their video creator to help produce video content and increase the production quality for VG Bootcamp streams. He does an amazing job, but he's already getting paid for it from them. So why does the public now have to pay for this? I guarantee you if this wasn't on the list anyway, he would have already made a top 8 intro video. Why are we paying all this money for it? This level 10 here, for an extra $4,000, is stuff that would have already been done, even if the community hasn't paid a dime towards it. So why are we having a whole goal here for making things that would have already been made? It makes no sense at all. Level 11, $44,000. Granted, we're already almost 10k above everything that Big House had earned, and they got to accomplish a lot more. We get two things. Fatality goes to Genesis 3, and then an analysis desk on day 3 and the Smash Draft. Fatality, for those of you who don't know, is another Wii U player from Florida. This seems to be kind of a growing trend here. Except Fatality, if you look at his SSB wiki page, let me load that up. His winnings equate to about $2,100. And furthermore, people know him mostly from Super Smash Con. He got 4th place there, beating players like the Buzz, and made over $1,500 from that one tournament alone. If you're going to be making $1,500 from Smash in August, and you want to go to more tournaments that make more money, why wouldn't you put some of that money away towards Genesis? It's the same thing we just talked about with DJ Jack, except to an even greater thing here, because Fatality's actually made more money than DJ Jack, and they're from a similar region. I think Fatality's from Georgia, which is, he goes to a whole bunch of Florida tournaments anyway. He's a better player that makes more money, so why do we have to pay all this money to get him there? And then the analysis desk, let's be real, is there really like not going to be an analysis desk like if we don't reach this goal? Like, you know how much money it takes to have an analysis desk? We've already had them at other tournaments. VG Bootcamp has the equipment. If they don't have the equipment, hey Chibo, could you bring some extra headsets and mixers so we can do analysis desk? Sure guys, here you go. Done. You don't need a lot of extra equipment to run an analysis desk when they already have the equipment. Like, there's no extra staff required. The people that are going to be on the analysis desk are going to like it anyway because they get Twitter followers from it and they have fun doing what they do. And Fatality doesn't need the money to go to Genesis. If he was smart, he would have taken a third of his winnings from Super Smash Con, put it away to Genesis, and still walked out of the venue with a cool grand. Is it cool to see him there? Yes. But we don't need another US player donated money to get to Genesis. It just doesn't make any sense. We're almost there. 4 more levels. Level 12, $48,000. 4,000 more dollars since the last level again. Now this is the last level where we actually fly out a player. We're going to be flying out Acid to Genesis 3. I'm not going to lie, I had to look up who Acid was when I saw this. And what I found out was he's a player from the Leap of Faith crew, a Wii U player from Delaware. He frequents a lot of Xanadu tournaments, and he's won a Xanadu once. I haven't seen too many results from him recently. Maybe he just hasn't been confirming them on Smashboards. He streams a lot, but he has like 1,000 followers. I couldn't see his past broadcasts because they weren't enabled, but he said he was holding a sub-tournament, but he doesn't have subscribers on Twitch yet. But, that's it. He's a Falcon player from Delaware, and he's like not top 50. It's Wii U most likely. It just seems weird for the big grand finale, like the highest ranking Compendium person we're gonna fly out. It's gonna be Acid. Like, nothing against you, bro, but like that's it. That's all the players we're flying out. We're flying out Javi, Twin, TK Breezy, EE, Soul, None, Ice, DJ Jack, Fatality, and Acid. Besides the fact that there's way more Wii U than Melee here for a very Melee-centric tournament, there's not a single Melee or Wii U Japanese player. The only player from Europe is Ice, which has been on every single Compendium. We got one player from Canada. There's so many potential players here missing. And even though like the one Japanese player we do have here, Wario for Smash 64, is already having money raised for him. Like, sure, we have like maybe 15 confirmed Japanese players here. I'm sure it's really, really hard for them to get here. Why don't we just make like a Japanese player fund to help like give them some extra money to come here? I don't see why we need to fly out DJ Jack, Fatality, Acid, Soul, TK Breezy, EE. Like, half these players are gonna go here regardless. You know that. And the fact that, like, the big finale here is a player that's not even top 50. He's from Delaware. All he has to do is just fly across there. He could easily get a ticket for $300 to $400, stay with his Leap of Faith friends, and he's good. The other part of Level 12 is a Smash Draft $5,000 pop bonus. The last Smash Draft pop bonus was $3,000 in Level 7, meaning we're getting $2,000 here. Meaning we're giving $2,000 in Level 12 to fly out Acid. I just don't get it. I really don't. Like, these rewards are really, like, subpar. For the biggest tournament, like, ever, bar Evo, we could do so much more here. And we're being, like, not that catering towards international competition. The whole reason why Genesis 3 started to get like super hype, especially on the Wii U side of things, was when we heard 10 plus Japanese players were coming, and yet we're doing nothing to cater to them, and yet we're bringing out like 5 East Coast players. Like, they don't need it that bad, and God forbid a couple players don't make it to Genesis. They can still watch the stream at home. Level 13, $52,000. Again, another $4,000 increase. We get 2 things here. We get a Smash Practice player interview. For those of you who don't know, Smash Practice is done by Zoo and Cactar. Basically, you can assume that it just means Zoo is going to be interviewing some players because he's like the video guy behind it. And if you go look at his YouTube channel, he already does player interviews. And if he's already going to be there doing a Genesis 3 montage, do we really have to pay him thousands of dollars to just talk to Mewtwo King for a little bit? To talk to Hungrybox? Talk to Pee-Pee? Like, why wouldn't he do this anyway? It's content for his channel that he can make money from. He should want to do these things, and I'm sure he does want to do these things. So why do we have to wait till we raise $52,000 to do this? But the other part of this goal is Kyle Athade's dance party plus stream request. Now, I didn't know who Kyle Athade was. I looked it up. It's a big band group from New York that does a lot of cool music related to video games and other pop culture things. But it's a big band. That means it's literally like, it's not just 1 or 2 people, it's like, all their videos and photos have like 8 plus people playing. And while they can probably recruit some local talent, the fact that it's just like, they could potentially be coming in like 8 people deep, all with instruments from New York, that costs like, more than $4,000. This is like the only true level that like, is undervalued in my opinion. Like, the fact that we get to go to Genesis, and now like, the whole, like, people love the after party life, but now we get to have like some unique music here that we're not used to. I think this is like one of the coolest Compendium levels in my opinion. It's level 13. But we have to reach $52,000 to get this. Like, why can't we just skip levels 1 through 12 and just raise $4,000 for this? I would love that more than anything else right now. I hope we do get there. It'll be a lot of fun. But honestly, I think that's one of the best things so far in the Compendium. Level 14. $56,000. Wii U 8 Region Crew Battle $5,000 pop bonus. Now, we've already given the pop bonus was recently at $2,000 at level 5. So that means we're going to push that to $5,000 in level 14. So why are we going to pay $4,000 for a $3,000 pot bonus? That right there, like, $3,000 doesn't equal $4,000. It's a very simple equation there. Like, you don't, like, when we're trying to wonder if this even matches up here, that just blatantly does not. And finally, level 15, the final part of this huge $60,000 compendium, is a friendlies venue open 24/7 with non-esports stream, 30 plus setups. That's awesome. We already got the friendlies venue back from level 3, but now we get to have it overnight. And like, I haven't booked my hotel yet, but I was actually going to book my hotel like maybe 5 miles away or so from the venue and take a subway in between there and the tournament every day because I'm used to the area. I know what San Jose is like. It's a place I've stayed at before that's pretty cheap. But now I'm like actually kind of like not regretting it because I haven't done it yet, but I kind of want to stay next to the venue now within walking distance because the fact that like when a tournament has a 24/7 venue, it's such a better tournament. Looking at tournaments like Big House had one, Yumacon has one. I can't tell you like how many times I've just like been awake at like 2-3 a.m. Like, I just want to play some Smash right now. You don't have to go to the hotel room anymore and go money match people. You get to go to a whole venue now open with 30 plus setups and now a stream as well. One of the best parts of the compendium. But I'm starting to doubt if we can even get $60,000. Like, people doubted if we could hit the end of the Big House compendium at like $30-some thousand. The fact that we nearly have to double that now, if we could just really raise money to have like a couple of the players, like the international ones, the Wii U 8 Regional Crew Battle, pop bonus for that, pop bonus for the Melee Draft, the Brawl player invitational, the dance party, and the friendlies venue open up for 24/7 with a non-esports stream. Those are what's like really worthwhile here, and that's like 5 levels out of 15. So yeah, if you go look on Twitter right now, the general response to this is like incredibly negative. And some people might say it's just because you're not getting flown out. Or, here, I'm already flying to Genesis 3. I have the money for it. I have a good paying full-time job. I can make it there. Like, it wasn't even like a thought about it. Like, I don't care if me's aren't completely illegal. I'm still going to go there and have a great time. And, like, I don't need a compendium to get me there. So I'm not upset about that. What I'm upset about is that we're paying for money that... We're paying for people that don't need the money. We're paying for things that are going to be done anyway without money. And... there either wasn't a lot of thought put behind this, or like they're just, that effort isn't there for like really good compendium levels, and I'm sad to see it. And honestly, it's to the point where like if I didn't already have my flight booked, this compendium is almost enough to turn me away from going to the tournament. And it sucks that like a whole system designed to give extra stuff to the tournament would actually kind of drive me away from it, because like TK and E are already gonna get paid for this tournament. They're already gonna go to it. We don't need to raise $16,000 to get them to go to a tournament and commentate that they're already going to go to and commentate. You mean other commentators are out there that should that are very deserving of commentating here that don't have money right now? Like, look at Gunblade. He's one of the best commentators out there, and yet he doesn't get just as many opportunities, so he doesn't have the money to necessarily go out there. Max Ketchum is another great commentator who's running into money issues right now. He's currently trying to raise money through Reddit right now to attend the event, and instead here, we're throwing $4,000 to two of the most highest paid commentators out there right now. One of them, which is with Vici Bootcamp, the streamer of the event, and the other one who has close to as many subscribers as the other one does on Twitch. Like, and as I said, if they're short a couple $100, they could ask their fans and they'll throw them out there. Like, they have no problem going, and yet other commentators do. Also, like, for being like not just like the Premier Smash event, but let's face it, Melee is bigger at Genesis. We're not like paying as much focus to Melee in these goals here. Like, the fact that Brawl Invitational is being added, the Wii U Crew Battle is being added. We have no Melee commentators here being flown out. We have Javi and his brother coming out from Mexico, and then Ice coming out from Europe, and that's it for Melee. Like, Melee is not getting a lot of love here, to be honest, which is disappointing, and I'm sure that they're going to be upset about this. And instead we have, like, super mediocre Wii U players coming, and like it's not good. So that's the compendium, everybody, and it's a shame because they actually have one of the best goals here, or one of the things you can buy here is for $35 you get a Genesis 3 shirt and premium seating for finals, and I really want to do that because $35 isn't that much. Like, you find shirts that are worth like $25 here. And yes, that means you're like getting to donate to like a good cause, kind of like helping support this tournament and getting good seating for finals, which everybody would love to have. And yet, like, I'm not going to do it. If there were better goals, I would, or if I could put my money towards specific levels and not just an overall pot. But that's not how the Compendium works. Like, the poster's cool. I want a Smash GG shirt. I want a Genesis 3 shirt. I want premium seating for finals. But I refuse to support this kind of compendium. And I don't want to be the guy that goes out there and says, like, this is bad, I'm not going to support this. But I think you guys need to really look through these goals and realize, like, this is not how it should be done. And I really hope this can be changed. Thanks for watching.